I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be Breakups as a Weapon. I've got an email here from a viewer who's been dating a woman for, I guess, a few years. And he basically says that he has broken up with her and gotten back together more times than he can count or remember, and that she basically uses breakups as a training tool to get him to do what it is that she wants. So I've got a quote that I wrote on this topic, and then we're going to go through his email and see what's really going on. If it's something that he's doing or if she's just a Fruit Loop. And the quote says, 95% of your happiness or your misery is going to come from the person or the people who you choose to spend your life with. The quality of your life is always going to be in direct proportion to the quality of the people who you allow into your life and who you consistently spend your time with. If you want your personal and professional life to be effortless and drama-free, you should only choose to spend your time with people who communicate in a loving, authentic, and open manner to positively resolve differences and problems by talking them out. Toxic people and those who constantly create drama should be avoided and deleted permanently from your life and social circle. Why? They tend to constantly blow a gasket when upset, ignore you on purpose, leave problems or disagreements unresolved, and generally act like a 5-year-old throwing a temper tantrum. So let's go through his email, shall we? He says, "Hey Coach, I've been following your work for a while. You've confirmed much of what I already have known and been told by wiser than me in the past. What's good about what you teach is you break it down for the simple male to be able to easily understand. Anyway, I've been dating this girl on and off for almost 3 years. Sounds like 3 years too long. She's a great woman except for a few things that really make me shy away. Well, sometimes only 1 or 2 bad character flaws are enough to make that a deal breaker. Just not somebody that you should be in a relationship with. And at the end of the day, you can't fall in love with somebody's potential and ignore the fact that their flaws make your life a living hell. She's a great woman except for a few things that make me shy away. She wants to be pregnant and married really badly and really fast, and as a result, she tends to, at times, interrupt the natural flow of the relationship and pressure me to that end. The other thing that she does is use breakups as a training tool of sorts against me." That sounds like a lot of fun. This is the kind of woman, you have kids with her, and she's using you as a sperm donor and a provider, basically. And then once she has the kids, she doesn't give a shit about you anyways. There's no more sex for you. She doesn't lose the baby weight. She houses on you, butches her hair, cuts all her hair off. Oh, I see so many guys in that situation. It's like, oh man, you can go to any public place and just sit around and observe. These poor bastards have been so fucking beat down. Their wives look nasty and disgusting. They're both overweight. They're androgynously dressed, baggy clothes. The wife is walking out in front with a fucking scowl on her face, constantly barking orders at the kids and the husband. He's got his head down and he's just so fucking beat down. And he'll never have the balls to do anything about it. He says, for example, after any argument we have, she breaks up with me behind it. Oh, that sounds like so much fun. She will then proceed to ignore my calls for a certain period of time. Well, you never chase after somebody that unilaterally ends your relationship, especially in her case where she's punishing you by breaking up with you. A woman who places a high value on communication and has a healthy self-esteem, she's going to want to talk things out. This one is punishing you and teaching you a lesson, in essence putting you in timeout because that's what she learned. I dated a woman that was like that. You know, when she got pissed off at her mother or one of her brothers or somebody in her family, it's like she gave the silent treatment and would not talk until the other person, whether they were right or wrong, came and apologized for it. And it usually took the father or one of the older brothers to come and be a mediator. It was like, I dated her for about 3 years, and it's like, I'm fucking sick of that shit, man. It's like things would be going sailing along great, and because she was a little insecure, she'd create some kind of fucking drama and just stop calling me. I was like, oh, here we go again. I had a business partner who was like that for fucking 10 years. He was always pissed off at me or my other partner, and sometimes he'd be pissed off at both of us, and every once in a while things would be good for a few weeks or whatever, but he was always getting pissed off, and he would never apologize, and always took the other person, usually me, sitting down, oh, I'm sorry, and it's like, you're apologizing for things when you didn't do anything wrong because of his perception of how he viewed the world. He was always, somebody was trying to take something from him. Somebody was trying to take something from him and his family, trying to take money out of his mouth. That's just how he perceived. I remember one time we had a receptionist that had been, I didn't even hire her. It was one of my assistants upstairs who did all the interviewing because I didn't want to fuck with that. You know, our business was growing, and so usually we'd have a receptionist maybe 2 or 3 months, and she'd get a promotion. She'd start working upstairs in the administrative assistant area. And so she hired this new girl, and he was standing at the desk waiting for her to finish, and she's like, yeah, Corey's the owner, because I did all the TV advertising, and so he was always jealous of that, and told me I was an egomaniac, and thought I was the king of the company, and I was like, dude, if you want to be on TV, go ahead and advertise, do a commercial for your side of the business. I don't give a fuck. I'm just doing it because it brings in the revenue, it grows our fucking business. You want to be on TV, then go spend your own fucking money like I do, and advertise your side of the business. And they did for a few months, and then it didn't do very well, and they didn't stick with it. But he's always continued to be jealous and envious of that. And so because he's got that perception that somebody's always trying to take something from him or screw him over, he was always looking for that. That was his model of the world. That was the way he looked at the world. So he's standing there and listening to this new receptionist. I didn't even know her fucking name because she was that new. Yeah, Corey's the owner. Yep, no, he doesn't have any business partners. And of course, in his mind, Corey told her that. Because that's just what he thought. And so he comes in with this fucking scowl on his face. He's like, hey, man, I don't appreciate you telling the receptionist that you're not the king here. And and he just starts going on and on and on. And I was like, who? And it was like, the new receptionist. Like, I don't even know her fucking name, man. I met her for a few minutes. I trusted our office manager to make the decision. It's like, if you got a problem with the way she's been trained, then you go talk to the girl upstairs. It's like, and he's like, so he sat there with a scowl. I was like, I literally had nothing to do with her hiring, and she had seen our commercials on TV, and she just made an assumption. That's all. He says, well, before anybody starts here, we should give them a training. I was like, you know what? Great. I think that's a great idea. Why don't you take care of that? I mean, I really didn't give a fuck, but it was just like, there was 1,000 instances like that over the course of 10 years. You just like, you just get so worn out. It's like, oh man, life's too fucking short, man, to have people, business partners like that, or girlfriends like that, or friends that are like that are insecure and just always accusatory. And it's like, you did something to screw me over. And then you go through it, and it's like, it's really them. It's their own insecurities, flaws, and doubts. And even when you make a lot of money together, it's just fucking after 10 years, you're like, all right, I'm ready for the exit. Get me the fuck out of here. And it's like same thing, dating a really fucking hot girl. It's just having a really hot girlfriend. If she sucks as a communicator, or she flirts with other guys in front of you to make you jealous, it's like, fuck that. Nah, life's too short, man. He continues on. He says, when she does respond, she responds by going off about whatever it was that caused her to run in the first place. Mind you, she broke up with me once for cheating, not sexual, but for simply having a phone conversation with another woman. That was the only breakup I felt was legitimate. Okay. At least she admit it. He says she threw it in my face all the time, and I never felt she forgave me, so we eventually broke up for about 2 to 3 months. During that time, she dated and was engaged to marry another guy. Damn, 2 to 3 months? When a woman does something like that, when you've been together for a long time, because I had a girlfriend that literally rubbed another guy in my face when she thought our relationship was going to end. It was one of those guys that was just friends. Started going out and having drinks with him, and she told me all about this. I'm like, if you are upset, you should be talking to me about our relationship, not some fucking dude that's been trying to get in your pants for 5 fucking years. And I was just like, after 3 years, I was like, man, fuck that. I didn't really give a shit anymore. I didn't care how hot she was or how much I loved her. I was just fucking over it. She was insecure. She was always intimidated intimidated by me because I was a lot more successful than she was. I had a lot of money. She didn't make a lot of money, and it just got fucking old. I just really was just sitting there. I was listening to her talk, and I was just thinking to myself, I'm so fucking over this. I can remember like it was yesterday. I'm so fucking over this. And literally a couple weeks later, we ended up breaking up. And a month after that, she moved in with this guy. And this guy, she lived with him for about 9 months. She ended up getting a restraining order against him because he was really insecure. And that's why she always kept him in friend zone as a backup, because he was a fucking bitch. He was a pussy. And then she moves in with that guy who was a bitch or pussy, because when a woman does something like that, she's basically looking to jump right into the same level of intimacy that she had with me. I mean, we were together for 3 years, and literally a month later, she moves in with this guy. It was just like, didn't last. Of course, she called me when it didn't work out with him, but I never got back. We were friends for a lot of years, but I never got back together because I knew how that movie was going to end. He was a complete jerk to her, so I think at some point she realized that I wasn't all that bad, and slowly she began to talk to me again, and we subsequently got back together. Of course, obviously, she didn't trust me, so it went okay for a while until I went away for a weekend and missed a few phone calls. I did, however, call back within 2 hours of the missed phone calls. She said instead of doing what I was doing, I should have been there with her since she was sick with a stomach virus. This is an insecure, manipulative, controlling woman. It's really not, other than the fact that you were flirting with another girl, having an emotional affair, if you will, it's always going to be this way. I know what it's like to date somebody like this, dude. The same particular girl, it was just constant, let's just be friends. I was like, no, I don't want to be friends. And we break up for a couple of weeks, and then sure enough, she'd always fucking call me, and we'd get back together. She was afraid of getting hurt, and so her way to deal with it was to break up or to try to put me in friend zone, because she didn't know how to communicate like an adult. And she always fucking came back like a fucking boomerang. But after a while, it became like a fucking yo-yo. It was like up and down, up and down. Things would be fucking phenomenal. She was a great lover. Sometimes we have sex 5 times a fucking day. She was amazing. But it's like all that other bad shit that went along with it. It's just, you get old, man. It wears on you. He says, I had already explained to her that I wouldn't be there that weekend, and she lives 2.5 hours away, and I didn't think it was a good idea since I have a 12-year-old that could get sick and take the illness back to her school. Well, you did the right thing. He's like, I'd love to see you, but my daughter's sick. Or you're sick, and I don't want my daughter to get sick. When I did answer over the phone, she had me put my daughter on the phone to prove that she was with me, and I wasn't just out doing whatever, I suppose. Like, she doesn't even trust you. It's like, fuck, why would you want to subject yourself to this dude? He says the next day she texted me and said she never wanted to see me again, not to message or try to contact her in any way, and that it was over for good. Okay, give me a call if you change your mind. That's the proper response. You don't ever chase after somebody that treats you this way, that's out of line like this. You don't ever call or text them. And then if they do come back, they need to fucking apologize and make the commitment that they're going to talk things out. And you need to put your foot down and say, maybe you should go see a therapist or a counselor to work with your insecurities, because I'm fucking tired of this. I'm tired of you getting pissed off at me and trying to manipulate me by breaking up. I'm done with it. I'm going to give you one more chance, but if you pull this shit again, it's like, maybe you really should go talk to a therapist or a counselor. Somebody can help you with that, because you're making my life a living hell, and I'm fucking sick of it. He says, in following your teaching, I know you're going to say simply don't contact or date other women and move on with my life. And I realize that is the best thing to do. Great, then fucking do it. He says it's very hard, though, because I really do love her, so of course I tried to call her in hopes that we could talk and repair what had been lost. So in other words, you know what you should do, but you're just like, you can't help yourself. Or I should say, it's not that you can't help yourself, you're choosing not to help yourself. You're running it because think about it, dude. She treats you really bad. And then you call her and you chase after her. You're basically saying, please shit on me again. Please break up with me again. Please treat me like a second-class citizen again. A man who loves himself and who values himself and who has self-respect is going to be like, she's wrong. She needs to resolve it. The strongest negotiating position is being able to walk away and mean it. And you are enabling her behavior. You are begging her to continue treating you this way. And this is why it's never gotten any better with her. Because you just keep running after her, even no matter how badly she jerks you around, walks all over you. You're like, thank you. May I have another, please? She ignored the call and text and she didn't respond. She has broken up with me. I can't even count the number of times. But I feel this time she is serious and won't be back. I promise you, if you keep running after her, she won't be back. Because you don't have any self-respect. And if you don't have any self-respect, a woman certainly is not going to respect you. When a woman doesn't respect you, she will never fucking love you. I don't know what I did to her that was so wrong. Dude, it's not your job to fix her. She's fucked up. She's insecure. She's needy. She's controlling. And she's manipulative. Really what she needs is a therapist and a counselor to help her out with her fucking problem. I guess I could just understand that part. I would feel better. She just completely shut down and will not talk at all, period. I must say it's wearing heavily on my mind and I need help. That's why you shouldn't do anything. You already know what you should do. You just need to do it. But the reality is, dude, is you really need to find yourself a better girl. Because unless she gets some help, some professional counseling and therapy or psychotherapy, she's just going to be this way. Let her make somebody other dude's life a living hell. I would just simply wait to hear from her. And when you do, assume she wants to see you, create an opportunity for sex to happen at your place. Just like I talk about in the article and video, 7 principles to get an expect. That's what I would do. But I wouldn't get back together with a woman like this. Just keep her as a fuck buddy, a sex playmate, a friends with benefits, or have an open relationship with her. Because when she acts this way, you say, look, I'm not into this drama. Call me when you calm down and when we talk things out like an adult. And then you walk and you never look back. Because, again, your behavior is enabling her to continue treating you this way. And that's why it never gets any better, dude. If you keep doing the same thing over and over again, you're going to get the same result. If you keep doing what you've always done, you'll continue to get what you've always got. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. At some point, you got to say, this is fucking madness to keep doing this and going through this ridiculous pattern. Like I said, I gave you a couple examples. One in my business life of a guy that I was in business with for 10 years. And I gave you an example of a girl that I dated for 3 years. It was like this. It just never gets any better. And eventually you get fucking tired of it. And when you become strong enough and you say, you know what, I want something better. And the great thing is, when you make the decision to have something better, you won't tolerate this bullshit in your life anymore. You start dating a girl and she starts acting this way, you're like, That's it. You walk away and that's it. And you move on. You keep circulating until you find somebody that treats you the way you want to be treated and who has all the great qualities that you're looking for. Again, it's not your job to fix somebody or fall in love with their potential. You got to see them not worse than they are, better than they are, but as they really are. And if you can look at them as they really are and accept them with all their flaws and faults, and they'll treat you, I mean, nobody's going to be perfect, but this kind of fucking behavior, dude, it's just going to make you miserable. And think about it. You got a little girl that's 12 years old, your daughter, she needs you at your best. She needs you to present her an example of a healthy, loving relationship. And it ain't with this girl, dude. You know why? Because if you do, say you stay with this woman, your daughter eventually is going to grow up and emulate that same kind of relationship. Is that what you really want for her? Is that the best that you can do as a parent? That's definitely something to think about, dude. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to book a paid phone, Skype, or email coaching session with yours truly. You can choose any of those options by going to my website, clicking the products tab at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions for booking whichever option works best for you. And I will talk to you soon.